Welcome to SeeBeyond Medicine. Today I'm going to be talking about the 7 pillars of health. This is Randi Cestaro. I am one of the holistic functional medicine health coaches at SeeBeyond Medicine. And just wanted to remind everyone, this is for informational, educational purposes only. This is not meant as any medical advice. Thank you. Okay, so today we're going to be talking about the 7 pillars of health. First, I'm going to start with the first pillar of health, which is actually obviously nutrition. And what is nutrition? Nutrition is a method in which food is consumed, digested, and converted into energy and vital nutrients. And there are certain types of nutrition that we always want to try to get in our food groups each day. So we want to try to get carbohydrates, proteins, fats, dietary fiber, minerals, and water. And when we're looking at carbohydrates, we're always looking at carbohydrates that break down and turn into energy. So we're looking at carbohydrates like quinoa, black or purple rice, which are higher in antioxidants, gluten-free wasa crackers. And then in terms of protein sources, we could do vegetarian protein sources, vegan protein sources, or of course you can get protein sources from animal protein, and those are naturally occurring in B vitamins. When we look at fats, we're always looking for healthy forms of fat. So avocado is one of our best forms of healthy fats. You could also use avocado oil. You could use olive oil. You could use calamari olive oil. You could also use sesame oil. And you can also use grapeseed oil, which is very high in antioxidants. So then when we're looking at dietary fibers, we could look at specific fibers, ground up flax seeds. We could also look at psyllium husk. Psyllium husk is one of the fibers that's actually known to pull out bad cholesterol and increase good cholesterol. And then we could look at minerals and water. And water is always one of the questions that everyone wants to know if they're actually drinking enough water per day. General rule of thumb is women should be drinking anywhere from 8 to 11 glasses of water a day, and men should be drinking around 15 glasses of water a day. Okay, so why is nutrition so important? Okay, so why is nutrition so important? Nutrition is very important for a number of reasons. Number one, it ensures a healthy pregnancy outcome. So the mom and baby are getting enough nutrients based on their nutrition. It also obviously helps with normal growth and development. So when children are young, it's very, very important to make sure that they're eating the proper nutrition. So enough carbohydrates, proteins, healthy fats, and fiber. It also allows us to maintain a healthy weight, and it also minimizes our risk of chronic diseases. Okay. And let's talk a little bit about what we want to strive to eat in a variety of organic foods each day. We really want to try to make sure we're getting enough healthy fruits in our diet each day. Berries are always great forms of fruits, papaya, pineapple, apples, and then vegetables are really one of our the most important form of nutrition. Vegetables is what's going to help to reduce inflammation in the body, and vegetables is also going to give us a lot of dietary fiber. So based on the USDA dietary guidelines, they do recommend anywhere from 5 to 9 servings of fruits and vegetables a day. Lean meats, fish, we always really want to try to consume fish that's relatively low in mercury. Whole grains, some really, really great whole grains is going to be quinoa, millet, amaranth. Those are some great whole grains. Nuts, macadamia nuts are a great form of healthy fats. Walnuts are considered brain food. Sunflower seeds are very high in vitamin E. Almonds are very high in protein. So all different nuts and seeds are great for you. And okay, so now I just want to talk a little bit about testing. Okay, So in terms of testing, so why does everyone want to get tested in terms of knowing what food groups they should be eating and what supplements they actually should be taking on a daily basis? I'm always a big advocate of making sure that your blood work matches what supplementation you're going to be taking. So one of the best testing to know what supplements you should take and what dietary changes you should make is our ion test. And then we also have a functional medicine blood panel. That's also going to test for all vitamins, minerals, and nutrients, where the deficiencies lie and whether we increase it through nutrition or some supplementation. And then we also have a test called the food intolerance test, which is actually this test, and it's done in our laboratory. And the food intolerance test actually tells us what foods we might have an immediate reaction to. So what might be causing an allergy, and also what foods might be causing histamine and a little bit more behind the scenes, and it can last up to 3 days in the body. So a food intolerance test is a test that we always recommend to a lot of our patients here. Some staple nutritional supplements. Vitamin D is a fat soluble vitamin. So we try to make sure, we always want to make sure you're monitoring your levels. We try to keep people at a healthy level of 60. And then multivitamin, an organic whole foods multivitamin once a day is normally sufficient. But again, you want to try to cross-reference that with your lab work just to see where the deficiencies are and correct the imbalances. Okay, so now I'm going to go to pillar 2. Pillar 2 is on sleep. So sleep is often overlooked, and that's one of the questions we always ask our clients or patients is, how is sleep? So why is sleep so essential? Sleep strengthens the immune system so that you obviously would get sick less often. It allows you to stay at a healthy weight. It does reduce your stress response, so your cortisol levels. It improves your overall mood, so it reduces your risk for depression. It allows you to think more clearly and be more productive at work. And you tend to get along better with people because you are less irritated. So some of the guidelines is how much sleep is actually needed. So school-age children, we try to recommend anywhere from 9 to 10 hours. Teenagers really should be around 10 hours, and adults is around 7 to 8 hours, although of course it depends, it's very individualized. One of our favorite testing for sleep is actually called our neurotransmitter test. And this is a test that is actually done at home. And it is a urine test, but it actually would give us a better idea of what is going on inside the patient's brain. So if the patient doesn't produce enough, if there's too much dopamine, if there's not enough neurotransmitter, if there's not enough GABA or serotonin levels, then the doctor can assess it and correct the imbalances, so then the patient is able to sleep more deeply. So another way to ensure that you're getting enough sleep is it depends also, you want to make sure that you're not relying too much on a stimulant or caffeine to get you through the day. If you are, then you want to sort of take a step back and sort of correct the imbalances to obviously ensure that you're getting a deeper sleep. Sleep should always be a priority. Try to improve your bedroom setting, make it as tranquil as possible, declutter, make it very calm. Try to really implement a sleep hygiene that you're able to stick to each day. So try to make it consistent where each day you are trying to go to bed at the same time and you wake up at the same time each day. And then, of course, always carefully monitor your caffeine and alcohol intake, because those can influence your sleep cycle. Okay, so like I mentioned, the neurotransmitter test, we also have another test that is FDA approved, and that's called the WatchPat test. And again, the doctor can recommend it if they deem it's appropriate, but it is an at-home sleep study test that can test for sleep apnea. So if there's any issues with that test, then the doctor can correct those imbalances. Certain supplements that we use to promote sleep is going to be My Sleep, which is one of my favorite supplements. My Sleep actually has GABA and Trabacor in it. So GABA allows you to sort of gently fall asleep. It sort of quiets the mind. And Trabacor allows you to stay asleep so that you wake up less frequently throughout the night. And then there's also hemp oil that can also reduce inflammation in the body and allow you for a deeper sleep. Okay, so pillar number 3 is sunlight. And why is sunlight so important? So obviously sunlight allows us to absorb vitamin D, but it also can elevate our mood and also reduce the chance for depression. So we always want to aim to get 10 to 30 minutes of sunlight per day. And the best time to actually, for your body to absorb vitamin D is between the hours of 10 and 2. If sunlight is not an option for you, you can always consider a UV lamp, or you can use that in the wintertime. Okay, pillar number 4 is on sweat. So sweat is really, really important because it allows your body to detoxify and get rid of toxins and impurities that shouldn't be in the body. It allows your body to prevent for colds, frequent colds, and illnesses. It does boost the endorphin, so it gives you that feel-good hormone, so it makes you feel happier for longer. And it does allow you to sweat out toxins such as heavy metals. So sweating is really, really important. Obviously, we can sweat through exercise, but you can also, there's a lot of centers out there that you can also go to and get a subscription and use the sauna once or twice a week. Is really helpful to enhance sweating. Number 5 is stress. Stress is often overlooked, right? So there's good and bad stress, but when there's bad stress and we're under acute amount of stress, we always want to think about ways that we can start to reduce stress in our life. So stress, magnesium is one of a really, really great way to reduce stress. Another great way to reduce stress for us is there's a supplement called L-theanine, which is really, really amazing for reducing anxiety and our stress response. And then there's also something called holy basil tea, and holy basil medicine can lower your stress response as well. You can't always change your environment for what is causing you stress, but you can change how your body reacts to stress. So some simple tips are you could use 5 deep breaths in the morning and PM, almost as if they were 5 deep yoga breaths that you would take in the morning and before bed as well. Meditation music is just really, really calm, peaceful music that you could keep on while you're working or cleaning or cooking or anything along those lines. But meditation music is just really, really helpful for reducing stress. One of my favorite ways for reducing stress that a lot of the clients and patients tend to really like is acupuncture. Acupuncture is just a great way for reducing stress. Long walks is always really, really helpful as well. And then also just watching feel-good movies. Patch Adams is always a great one, and he always treated his patients through humor. Okay, so walking, research has shown that walking promotes the release of brain chemicals called endorphins that stimulates relaxation and improves your overall health. So one of my favorite supplements, like I'd mentioned before, is L-theanine. And that is a great supplement. And of course, that's something you can get through our office. And if the doctor recommends and deems it's appropriate for you. Acupuncture stimulates the body's natural feel-good hormones. It does reduce your stress response to cortisol levels. And some studies shown that acupuncture is an effective treatment for anxiety with fewer side effects than medication. So acupuncture is extremely useful for reducing your overall stress. So like I mentioned, L-theanine and holy basil. Another test that you can use if you wanted to see your cortisol levels and get a deeper dive into your hormones would be our Dutch test. And this is a 24-hour urine test, but the Dutch test is a very, very extensive way to see everything that's going on with your hormones, especially your cortisol levels. Okay, and then the 6th pillar is social. So socialization is really, really important and oftentimes overlooked. So socialization is really, really important to surround yourself with positive, uplifting people, whether it's friends, coworkers, or it could be a group that you are connected to, but socialization is very, very important. It's really great to join a community of like-minded people. So if you like to do yoga or cycling or running or anything along those lines, it's really great to join a community of like-minded people. So the goal here is to stay social, connected to loved ones, friends, clubs, etc. Number 7 is spirituality. So spirituality is also a very, very important pillar. Why? Because it allows you to stay connected to a deeper level greater than yourself. And ways to start to become more spiritual and more at peace with yourself is always a daily meditation practice. You could actually go on YouTube and you could look up meditation for beginners or My Piece of Mindfulness, or there's plenty of apps that you could download, but really, really starting really simple and small with incorporating. Okay. So starting a daily meditation practice, joining a local yoga studio, and something that's really important is practicing self-love. Create self-care routines for yourself, long walks, connecting on a deeper level with family and friends, cultivate gratitude, write down a list of 5 things you are grateful for and keep it on your nightstand and try to read it every day. And then, of course, praying. So I hope you enjoyed my talk on the 7 pillars of health, and we look forward to seeing you at SeeBeyond Medicine. Thank you.